All right. So, like I said, in that comfortable starting position, so whatever that might mean for you this evening, whether it's your comfortable seated position, whether you're at hands and knees, maybe you're standing, wherever you think that initial movement that's going to feel really good for you is going to originate from. And we'll start off with our scan from the top of the body to the tips of the toes, so the top of the head to the tips of the toes. As you take that scan, as always, that's without any judgment, just noticing how you're feeling this evening, noticing what's going on in your body, where those points of tension are, where those spaces are that could use a little bit of extra attention this evening. As you complete that scan and you notice those places that could use a little bit of extra warm up, a little bit of extra attention, I invite you to go ahead and start off with any initial range of motion that will feel good for you this evening. So like I said, maybe it's something from that comfortable seated position. Maybe it's something that we usually start off with, that spinal twist, that lateral stretch, that roll of the head and the neck. Maybe it's your cat and cow, your child's pose to Cobra. Maybe it's something like a standing forward fold, or interlacing those hands behind the back, opening up the chest, pulling the shoulder blades together. And we'll take about 6 or 8 nice deep breaths in any initial range of motion that'll feel good to get you started, to get you moving on the right foot for your practice this evening, and just get warmed up, because everyone's body feels a little bit different, and just taking it at your own pace as we get started. And taking about 3 or 4 more nice deep breaths, nice and easy, finishing out maybe one more time in each direction. Maybe you change up that range of motion one time here. Maybe if you just found a nice easy stretch, you just find that stretch. And finishing off with those last 2 nice deep breaths. And then when you finish that last range of motion, maybe in each direction, or maybe one more time through, or maybe just one more nice deep breath there, then go ahead and just start to make your way back over to your comfortable seated position. And we'll just spend a couple of moments in these warm-up stretches so we can get to the meat of the workout and then have some time to cool down at the end. So we're just going to go for 2 rolls of the head and the neck in each direction. Your next big inhale, finding that nice long spine from your comfortable seat. Your exhale, dropping the chin to the chest. From here, rocking the head side to side, like I said, twice in each direction. So right ear towards that right shoulder. As always, you can reach that left hand down. Exhale, drops this down through center. Same thing, second direction. And then from there, just one more time each way. So exhale, chin to chest, right ear to right shoulder, and then chin to chest, and left ear to left shoulder. That next exhale, drops your chin back to your chest, lengthening through the back of the neck, taking a moment there. And then inhale, lifts the head back up nice and long. We're going to take 3 shoulder circles in each direction, up towards the ears, then either down and back or down into the front. Taking those first 3 nice big circles, and then switching it up, same thing other way. Second 3, opposite direction. When you finish that, relaxing those shoulders nice and low away from the ears. We'll go into our lateral stretches. Once again, we'll do 3 in each direction. So that following inhale after that last circle finds those arms out and up, nice and long away from center. Exhale, drops one hand down, lifts the other arm up. Nice big stretch in that first direction. Like I said, 3 each way. Feel free to move at your own pace if you feel like moving a little faster or slower. Inhale pulls you through center. Exhale in that second direction. And then go ahead twice more each way. So those inhales getting you moving. Exhale into that stretch, really reaching with those long fingertips, keeping that hip in contact with the mat. And on that third one, same thing. When you finish that third set in either direction, I invite you to go ahead right into that spinal twist. So after that third one, arms come up nice and long at center. And then one arm comes forward, other arm comes back, opening up the chest towards that side wall. And once again, we'll do 3 in each direction, and feel free to take these at your own pace. As always, arms can come high as you come through center, or they can stay low and just trace along the knees. And using those breaths to guide you. And that third time in each direction, nice and easy. Finish them out. at your own pace. When you finish that third, just releasing those arms down, releasing those shoulders down. And after that last one, we're just going to go into 2 lower body stretches. It'll, same as we've been doing for the last couple of practices, kind of be your choice where you want the legs to be. We're going to go down the center twice. So first option is that butterfly stretch, soles of the feet together. Second option, legs out long. Third option, legs out long in that straddle. Or since we're doing it twice, you can do one side and then the other side. So taking the option that'll work best for you. Finding your inhale to your nice long spine. Maybe those arms come up overhead. And then your exhale folds you forward. Fingertips down towards the toes. Or again, maybe those hands are on those ankles and we're folding it forward. Or maybe we're in one direction, aiming towards those toes of that long leg. Choose the option that works for you. And give me just 2 more nice deep breaths here. With that next inhale, I invite you to go ahead and roll it up, bring it back to that nice long spine. If you're on one side, I invite you to go ahead and switch to the other. You can stay right where you were, or you can change up those legs for that second time. Same thing, that inhale finds that long spine and maybe those arms up overhead, and that exhale folds us forward. Again, kind of depending on where the foot positioning that you chose is. So maybe fingertips towards the toes. Maybe if you're in that straddle, they go out center. And taking 2 nice deep breaths here. Excellent. That next inhale brings us up back to that nice long spine. We're going to make our way over to hands and knees, do a couple of cats and cows, and then, like I said, we'll get into that flow. We'll take it slow the first 2 times through just to get us warmed up, and then we will get moving. So first and foremost, hands and knees. Knees underneath hips, wrists either underneath shoulders or a little bit out in front if the wrists need that. And then just go ahead right into that cat and cow. Inhale brings the belly towards the floor, lift the hips and maybe the chin. Exhale, tucks that hips underneath, rounds the spine up towards the ceiling, and tucks the chin in as well. A couple times each direction here. Moving at your pace. Give me 2 more nice deep breaths here. When you finish those 2, we're going to get that lower body warmed up a little bit with just our first big inversion, our first downward facing dog of the day. So I invite you to go ahead and plant those hands, curl those toes under, press those hips up and back. As always, be gentle with yourself for that first one. Maybe you pedal out those heels. Maybe you keep the head a little bit lifted. Maybe nice and easy. As you drop that head down, shaking it yes or no in that range of motion, nice and slow and controlled. And just take 2 more nice deep breaths here. And then after that second nice deep breath, go ahead and walk those feet forward to meet those hands into that forward fold. Same thing, be gentle with yourself. Maybe that gentle bend in those knees, maybe round the spine out a little bit more. Maybe the head drops. Maybe move a little bit side to side. One more nice deep breath here. And then with that next inhale, I want you to go ahead and roll it on up, vertebrae by vertebrae, up to that extended mountain. So when you get to the top, go ahead and take those arms up overhead. Nice big stretch. Maybe you look up towards those fingertips. Maybe you take those thumbs backwards a little bit for that little mini back bend. And then exhale, brings those arms down and around. All right, this is where we're going to start our flow. Like I said, a little challenge tonight. So feel free to grab a sip of your beverage, any final range of motion that you need here. As we get going, we're going to do 3 reps for a couple of our movements here. If you move a little slower or faster, you can complete all 3 reps and just meet us in our next exercise. Or you can take the number up or down, just trying to keep it even on both sides if you do decide to change that number for those movements that are one-sided. So first we're going to start with that nice inhale to take those arms up, and our exhale is going to take us into our fold. So when you find the top of that mat, finding that first big inhale, arms out and up. Exhale brings us down into that fold, fingertips towards the toes. Again, maybe that gentle bend in those knees. We're going to take one halfway lift here. Inhale to that flat back, that long spine, that nice active core. Exhale brings us back into that fold. From here, we're going to go into our first core movement. We're going to bend those knees, plant those hands, and step those feet back nice and long into our high push-up plank position. As always, those knees can be down here if that feels a little bit better for you this evening. We're just taking a couple of moments, couple of nice deep breaths, getting the core nice and active, pulling the belly button in towards the spine. All right, here's where our first set of 3 is going to come. We're going to find our Chaturanga all the way down to the mat, extending those arms out, and then bringing them back in and finding a push-up. So elbows stay closed, toes or knees. We Chaturanga all the way down to the mat. When the chest hits, we're then going to go ahead and extend those arms out, lift it up into our Superman. From there, we exhale, bring it back down, pull those hands back in. Curl the toes under, toes or knees. Once again, we're pressing back up into that plank. So if you're on those knees, pressing up, lifting those knees. Same thing, twice more. Chaturanga brings us all the way down, toes or knees. When you hit the bottom, extend those arms, lift up into that Superman. Lower back down, pull the hands in, curl the toes under, press it up. And then the last one, just like that. Lower it down, toes or knees. When you hit the mat, extend out, lift up, Superman. Bring it back down, pull it in, curl the toes under, toes or knees, press it back up, back into that push-up position. All right, we're gonna do one more Chaturanga, but this time it's gonna take us into our Cobra position. So toes or knees, lowers us down. When you hit the bottom, press up into that Cobra, that nice stretch. As always, baby Cobra is a fabulous option. From here, we're gonna hit that child's pose. So pressing those hips back nice and long, finding that nice stretch for those shoulders, for those hips, for that lower back. We're going to repeat that movement twice more here. So that's another set of 3 for us. Exhale presses us forward into that Cobra. And then we press back into that child's pose. And one more time, just like that. Forward to that Cobra. And then back to that child's pose. All right, from here, we're gonna make our transition to our downward facing dog. So you can go forward to Cobra and then go from there, or you can just turn those toes under and press those hips up and back. Choose the transition that you prefer there. All right, next we've got our 3-legged dog. Left leg is gonna press up and back. Bend that right knee, sweep your left leg forward, find our lunge. Low lunge here, keep those fingertips in contact with the mat. That right knee is still up off the mat. All right, we're gonna lengthen and lower here, but we're gonna press straight up. So from this bent left knee, I'm then gonna press straight up, lengthen that left leg, use the core a little bit, and then I'm gonna come right back down. I'm gonna bend that left knee, sink back in that lunge just until my fingertips tap. 2 more times, just like that. If you can't quite reach, that's okay. Just finding that bend and extend. So up and back down, and then I'm gonna do it one more time. I'm gonna extend and then bend back into it. So working that front side quad, working a little bit of balance there. From here, let's take it up into our crescent lunge. So find your core, sweep it up. Nice long arms, nice long torso. All right, here's a common one from this position. We're gonna do 3 of those knee repeaters. So I want you to take that weight over that left leg. From here, elbows and that right knee come together, and then we extend back out and plant those toes back down. Take it as fast or slow as you need to keep your balance. A little slower is gonna be a little more challenging. 3 of those. When you finish that out, take it back to that crescent. So that left leg is working here. Fabulous. Let's fold it forward, fingertips back down to the mat. We're going to do our 3-legged dog to half mountain climber 3 times. And on that third one, we're going to plant it in our half pigeon. So left leg is going to press up, 3-legged dog. And then we're pulling it underneath for that mountain climber, knee towards those elbows. 2 more there, pressing up, bringing it under. And this last one, hold under for just a moment. So we're pressing it up, we're bringing it under, and then I want you to go ahead and plant that shin down and bring it into our half pigeon. So that right knee comes down, top of that right foot comes down. We've got 3 nice deep breaths here. So you can bring it down to those elbows, forehead to the mat. You can keep it up on those palms. 3 nice deep breaths. Excellent. With that next inhale, I invite you to go ahead and bring it back up to those palms. We're going to plant that left hip, so bringing it over and then pulling that right knee up. So we're in our kind of modified 90-90. We're going to go into our mermaid. So starting from our tall spine, right leg is pulled to the outside, left leg is still in front. Inhale takes the arms up. We're just going to go one time in each direction, starting down to the left, bringing that elbow down and reaching that right arm up for that nice big lateral stretch. Our inhale is going to pull us up through center, pressing off of that left hand, and then same thing other direction. So right hand comes down, left arm reaches. We don't have quite as much range in this direction, but that's okay. Our inhale brings us up, and our exhale just circles those arms down and around. Let's go into some core. We're going to circle both legs around to the front. All right, we're going to start off with our suitcase. We don't have a whole ton of core front, so I wanted to keep it a little bit more challenging. Our suitcase can be started from that boat position, and you can use those hands or you can keep them down, and you can plant those heels to make it a little easier as we go, or you can keep them floating. We're going to extend out nice and long. So if you can, a little more challenging is going to be to float, a little less challenging is going to be to come all the way to the mat. With your exhale, we're going to pull it back up to that boat position. 2 more, just like that. Keep it nice and slow and controlled if you can in both directions. So bring it down. Again, that float is going to be a little more challenging. Laying all the way down is going to be a little less challenging. Use your exhale to come up. 1 more time, just like that. Bringing it down. Exhale, bring it up. When you get there, we're going to hold for a 3 count here in this boat. We're here for 3, 2, and 1. Pull those knees in towards the chest. Rock it on back. All right, we're going to use that. We're going to do our little rock and roll front to back. I want you to build a little momentum. So bringing it up and back a couple times there. Keeping that chin pulled in towards the chest. And I want you to float it 1 more time. So next time you come up, try and get to that nice seated position. Those toes are off the mat. Our spine is nice and long. And then we're going to bring it over. So go ahead and curl those legs under, bring it over, and we're stepping it back to our plank. So make an adjustment if you need to. So I need to scoot back a little bit, plant those hands, step it back nice and long. Right into that plank. We're going to get a little break right after this. Stick with me. Downward facing dog. And then go ahead and walk those feet forward to meet those hands, forward fold. We're going to roll it up, do 1 lateral stretch in each direction, then you'll have an opportunity for a sip if you'd like it. So our inhale takes us up, arms come up overhead when you hit the top. And then 1 lateral stretch each way, right hand down, left arm up, through center, other side, up to center. And then exhale, releases those arms, releases those shoulders. All right, fabulous. So we've got about 3 nice deep breaths here. You can grab a sip. You can find a range of motion, a roll of the wrists, a roll of the shoulders. Taking a moment, and we're going to switch sides. Same thing on that second side. Whew. So lots of different types of movements. Not a lot of reps here tonight, but keeping us working, getting all those muscle groups going. All right, so starting to make your way back towards the top of your mat. You can always meet us in that fold if you need an extra couple of moments in that range of motion or in that sip. We're going to find that nice deep breath. That next inhale takes us up. And that exhale brings us into that fold, fingertips towards the toes. We've got our halfway lift with your inhale. Flat back, long spine, active core. Exhale down into that fold. All right, we're stepping it back to our plank here. So go ahead and bend those knees, plant those palms. When you can, step those feet back nice and long. Find that nice plank position. All right, we've got those 3. Chaturanga, 2 Supermans. So toes or knees, let's lower it all the way down. When the chest meets the mat, we extend those arms out. We lift up off the mat into that Superman. We bring it back down, pull the arms in, curl the toes under, toes or knees in that push-up. 2 more times, just like that. Take it at your own pace. If you need to move a little faster or slower, like I said, always as toes or knees. Find that little hold in that Superman. Pull it back down. Pull the hands in. Press it back up. Last one. If you're moving at my pace. When you finish that last one, find that high push-up plank position. And then we've got one more chaturanga to take us into that cobra. So toes or knees, lower it down. When you meet the mat, press it up, cobra or baby cobra. Nice little stretch there. And then we've got those three, cobra to child's pose. Whenever you're ready, press those hips back towards the heels. Nice little stretch for the chest. Bringing it forward. And back our second time. And then one more time, just like that. Bringing it forward. And back that third time. Very nice. From here, we're going to take it into that downward facing dog. So same as before, you can transition right from here, or you can press it forward to that cobra one more time. Either way, curling those toes under, finding that active core, pressing those hips up and back. All right, excellent. Right leg this time, three-legged dog. Bend that left knee, sweep that right leg forward. When you get it there, we've got those three, bend and extend. So from this position, fingertips start. We're extending straight up, extending that right leg, and then keeping that core strong, taking it right back down into it. Twice more, just like that, extending up and bringing it back down. Working a little on that balance, that core, that right quad, nice and controlled. Last time, we're extending. And we're coming back down into it. When you hit the bottom, when those fingertips meet or almost meet wherever you are, find your balance, find your core, sweep it up into our crescent. Keeping that right leg working. When you get there, we've got those three knee repeaters. So weight over that right foot this time, bringing your core nice and strong in towards center and extend back out nice and long. Three of those. When you finish that third, take it right back to that crescent lunge. Keep that right leg working just a little longer. All right, very nice. Now, three-legged dog to half mountain climber comes for us next. Bringing those fingertips down. Right foot's going to press up and back. And then we've got those three into that half mountain climber. Remember, on that third, we're making that transition to our half pigeon. So pressing up and back. And underneath, knee towards the elbows. And then that third time, we press it up and back. And then we pull it underneath. When you reach the inside there, pause for just a moment. And then go ahead and send that shin down to the mat. Let the top of that left foot meet. We've got our three nice deep breaths here. You can stay up or you can bring it down however far you'd like to. As always, maybe this side's a little different than that first side. That's okay. Very nice. With that next inhale, let's go ahead and bring it up to those palms. We're rocking it on to that right hip this time and pulling that left leg into our side. So right leg is still in front, left leg is in our side. We've got that one mermaid in each direction. We're going to go to the right this time. So right hand and maybe elbow comes down and left arm comes up over top. Our inhale presses us up through center. And we come down on that other side. Again, a little less range of motion in the second direction here. That's okay. Inhale brings us up to center. And exhale brings those arms down and around. Here comes our core work. So that core front, like I said, just a little bit. Got those 3 reps. We're going to find that suitcase first. So once you get those legs around, we're going to take it into that boat position, that boat pose. We've got those 3. All the way down a little easier, floating a little harder. When you're ready, extending out nice and long in both directions. And then our exhale pulls us up, using that core to pull in towards center. 2 more just like that. On that third one, when you find that boat, bring it up here for me. We're going to find our hold here for just another 3, 2, and 1. Pull those knees in towards the chest. We're going to rock and roll it a little bit. So pulling it back, bringing it back up. If you can, find that little float, pulling those feet up off the mat. If not, maybe they touch down and then you rebalance. Give me one more time, just like that. That rock back, that roll up. Try to find your balance when you hit the top. And then we're going to bring it on over. Curling those feet under, readjust if you need to. When you get it around or over, go ahead and step those feet back nice and long into that plank. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. And when you're ready, go ahead and walk or step those feet forward to meet those hands, forward fold. Finishing this round, we got one lateral stretch in each direction. Inhale rolls us all the way up, extended mountain. One arm down, other arm up over top. Inhale up to center. Exhale, second side. Inhale up to center. And exhale brings those arms down and around. All right, again, we've got 3 nice deep breaths. Go ahead and find any range of motion, any sip that you need. We're going to take this next round a little bit faster on some of those movements, a little bit less explaining on my part. All righty, making your way back to the top of your mat. Once again, we're going to find that nice inhale to take the arms up, exhale into that fold. Here we go. Next inhale takes us up. Exhale into that fold, fingertips towards the toes. Halfway lift with your next inhale. Exhale into that fold. Bend your knees, plant your hands, step it back nice and long into that high push-up plank position. From here, we've got those 3 repetitions, that chaturanga all the way down, that extension, and then pressing back up. So toes or knees, chaturanga down, extend the arms, Superman, back down, in, and then curl those toes under for that push-up. 2 more times, just like that. As always, if you're moving a little faster or slower, that's totally fine. When you finish that third, we're going to find that final chaturanga to bring it down into that cobra. So lower it down when you're ready. Press it up into that nice cobra, that nice front side body stretch. From there, we've got that child's pose to cobra 3 times. So pressing those hips back. Bringing it forward. Pressing those hips back. And bringing it forward that final time. And then back one more. From there, downward facing dog. Lifts those hips, curls those toes under, press those hips up and back. Very nice. Our 3-legged dog to our lunge here. So left leg presses up and back. Bend the right knee, sweep it under, plant it down, use that help if you need it. As always, here we go. We've got that extend and bend. So pressing straight up here and then bringing it right back down. Bend that knee, sink into it. 2 more, just like that. Find that balance, keep it nice and controlled. Pressing up, lengthening that leg, bringing it back down. One more time, press it up. And then bring it back down. From there, we'll take it into that crescent. So when you get those fingertips back down towards the mat, find your balance, find your core, sweep it up. And we've got those 3 knee repeaters. So weight over that left leg, pulling that right knee in towards center, towards those elbows, and extending back out nice and long. 2 more just like that. In towards center, and out nice and long. And last one brings us in towards center. Nice core work there. And back out into that crescent lunge. 3-legged dog to half mountain climber. Let's fold it forward. Left leg presses up and then pulls under for that half mountain climber. 2 more. That third one brings us into that half pigeon. Take your time, move at your own pace. Once again, when you get in for that third one, that little pause, and then go ahead and just drop that shin right to the mat. Now, right foot meets the mat as well. And then we've got our 3 nice deep breaths from the palms or from the elbows, or that forehead meets the back of those hands. Fabulous. If you brought it down to those elbows or that forehead to the mat, go ahead, bring it back to those palms. We're going to rock onto that left hip, pull that right knee in towards our side. We've got that mermaid once in each direction. Inhale takes us up. Exhale to the left first here. Left hand down, maybe that left elbow comes down, right arm reaches. Inhale presses us up through center, second side. Inhale presses us up to center. And our exhale brings us down. Circling those legs around here. We're bringing it over for that core front. When they come around, we've got those 3 suitcase crunches. So pulling it up to start in that boat and extending out nice and long. Again, if that torso and those legs come down a little easier, we've got to find that big exhale to come back up. 2 more. Keep it going. Just 2 more here. This is our second to last time in this one. We are almost there. When you finish that third, find that boat for me. We're keeping it there for another 3, 2, and 1. We've got that rock and roll. Pull those knees in, bringing it front to back. If you can, we roll it back. We find that balance. Keep it going just like that a couple times here. Keep that chin pulled in towards the chest. Give me 1 more. Find that balance when you get to the top if you can. Fabulous. And let's make that transition on over to that plank. So whether you roll it under or you bring it around, plant those hands. Step those feet back. Nice and long. Fabulous. Excellent. We've only got 1 more time, you guys. Let's press those hips up and back. Downward facing dog. From here, we're going to go ahead and bend those knees. Step or hop those feet forward to meet those hands. Forward fold. Inhale rolls us all the way up. Extended mountain. 1 lateral stretch each direction. 1 hand comes down, other arm reaches. Inhale brings us up to center. Exhale, second side. Inhale brings us up to center. We're going to go right into that final time through. So our exhale brings us down, fingertips towards the toes. Inhale to our halfway lift. Exhale back into that fold. Bend those knees, plant those hands, step those feet back nice and long into that plank. Very nice. All right, we've got those 3 repetitions. We're taking it from that Chaturanga to that Superman extension and into that push-up. Here we go. Toes or knees, we lower. We extend. Pull it up off that mat. Back down. In and up. Go ahead 2 more times. Take it at your own pace. In and press up, toes or knees. Last time. Unless I miscounted, in which case it's not like we'll be uneven. That's okay. When you finish that third one, that Chaturanga takes us into that Cobra. So lowering it down when you're done and pressing up into that Cobra or baby Cobra. And let's take that Cobra to child's pose. We've got those 3 times. So exhale presses us back. Nice stretch. Inhale presses us forward. 2 more. And on that last one, we're going to go ahead and make that transition to that downward facing dog. So whether you take it from that Cobra or from that child's pose, either way, we're curling those toes under, pressing those hips up and back. Very nice. Right leg, 3-legged dog. Bend the left knee, sweep that right leg underneath into our lunge. Fingertips are here. Here we've got that bend and extend. So lengthen that right leg and then lower back down into it. 2 more just like that. Lengthening, find that balance, find that core, find that right quad, and then back down. And then 1 more. Last time, press it up. Bring it back down. From that third, go ahead and sweep those arms up into that crescent lunge. Here we go for those 3 knee repeaters. Weight over that right leg. We're pulling that left knee in towards center and then extending back out nice and long. We've got 3 of those. Take it nice and controlled if you can. When you find that third, go ahead and take it back into that crescent lunge. All right, we're keeping it moving, almost there. Fold it forward, 3-legged dog to half mountain climber. Right foot up and back, pull it underneath. Out into that high push-up plank, up and back, pull it underneath. Looking good, looking good. Last one takes us into that half pigeon. Up and back, underneath, little pause. Send that right shin down to the mat. Top of that left foot meets. 3 nice deep breaths here. Very nice. With your next inhale, go ahead, bring it back up to those palms. We're rolling onto that right hip, pulling that left foot in towards our side. All right, here we go for that mermaid once each direction. Inhale takes us up. Right hand comes down, left arm comes up over top. Inhale pulls us up through center. Exhale, second direction. Inhale pulls us up to center. Exhale brings the arms down and around. Roll those legs around to the front. Last little bit of work here. We've got those suitcases. Starting off in that bow pose, extending nice and long. And then exhale pulls us back in. 2 more of those. When you finish those, give me just 2 of those rock and rolls here. So pressing it back, rolling it up. When you finish that second one, find that little pause, find that little balance. And then let's step it back for our plank. Final little bit of work here. Plant those hands, circle those legs around, step those feet back nice and long. High push-up plank position. Very nice, very nice. We're here for just another 4, 3, 2, hips up and back, down dog. Bend those knees, step or hop those feet forward to meet those hands, forward fold. Inhale takes us all the way up, extended mountain. 1 lateral stretch each direction. 1 arm down, other arm up. Inhale up to center. Second side. Inhale up to center. We're going to finish off with 1 nice deep breath. Exhale brings them down. Inhale takes us up. Palms meet right up overhead. And our exhale pulls the hands down to heart center. Thanks for joining me. Hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday night, a great rest of your week, a happy new year. And I look forward to seeing you in 2022. The light in me honors, the light in you, bowing as we say, namaste.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, Happy New Year.